And then what I'll do is a countdown from 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. The Houston Astros are on a scorching tear in the American League West. And here for the first of our MLB playoff previews for the Sports Refuge podcast set to run in October is Astros fan Rich Swift. And Rich, I really appreciate you being a part of the podcast and the live stream to talk about your love for the Astros and answer a few questions as well.
Hey, glad to be here.
The first thing I wanted to ask you was, how long have you been a fan of the Astros? What's your first memory of being an Astros fan?
Honestly, probably 1979, getting my first pack of Topps baseball cards and seeing the Astros uniform, the Astrodome, and they had a pitcher named J.R. Richard who just recently passed away, and I became a huge fan from there.
In your mind, what is the most memorable moment as an Astros fan?
There's several, but one that really sticks out is 1986, Mike Scott throwing a no-hitter to capture the National League West Division title. That was huge.
Where does the World Series title rank compared to all those other memorable moments?
It's up there. It's definitely up there. Even though a lot of people are going to say it's tainted, it's still... it's still an achievement. You still have to hit the ball. You still have to pitch. You still have to play defense. So, I mean, that was definitely a moment I'll never forget watching that.
Coming into the season, expectation, the shortened season, Astros were able to get in, especially new manager under Dusty Baker. What were you thinking the Astros could do in a full season?
I had pretty high expectations, but they were realistic. Without Justin Verlander, I knew the pitching might be suspect, and it's been better than I expected. Luis Garcia's been amazing, stepping in. Greinke stepped up. Lance McCullers has been great. So the pitching's been good, and the trade deadline really helped with the bullpen.
Yeah, the acquisition of Graveman. What does that mean to solidifying the Astros bullpen?
Oh, to me, that was huge. It's going to help down the line going into the playoffs, giving Presley a little bit of a breather and not having to rely on him every night. It's going to help with Christian Javier having so many innings. The whole bullpen. Plus, I mean, the guy's been one of the top 4 relievers in the American League for the last few years. So, we had Presley, who was a great closer, and now we have Graveman. To me, it's It may not be up there with Kimbrel and Hendricks from the White Sox, but it's really close.
To you, was there a particular point you were confident the Astros were making the playoffs? I know it's still August. There's still a lot of concern, even though until the regular season ends in September.
Yeah, probably early May, we went on a little bit of a run, and when some of the younger guys started stepping up, I really was like, yeah, we got this. After we rebounded from a losing streak in April, I believe like the 9th through the 22nd, where we were 2-9, and it got a little sketchy there. Once we rebounded from that, I'm like, yep, all right, it's going to be a good season. We got this. We'll make playoffs, at least wild card, if not the division.
Was there a point you were concerned that they weren't going to make the playoffs?
That 2-9 run in early April. Without Verlander, we had some injuries. So it definitely got a little sketchy, but once we came past that, the confidence was there.
Looking at the playoffs, looking ahead, who are the teams that you feel the Astros match up the best with?
Obviously, I want to say the Yankees, because we've seemed to have their number, although, eventually that tide may turn. But I would say the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the A's of the teams that are in contention. I have the most confidence against those teams.
Looking at the matchup, I'm assuming the White Sox and the Rays, among others, might be some of the teams you might be concerned about. But who else in the American League that you might worry about them getting in the playoffs and posing a threat to the Astros?
Honestly, Toronto. If Toronto can make the wild card, they're scary. They're a scary team. They could just take off.
Looking at Dusty Baker's second year of the Astros, taking over after A.J. Hinch was fired, what were your expectations coming in for Dusty as the manager? Especially coming in what looks like a turnkey team. But do you feel like he can be the one to take them back to the promised land? And what do you think that does for his reputation as one of the best managers not to win a World Series?
I would definitely say Dusty was the right man at the right time, because league-wide, Dusty had respect, and well-deserved respect. So the Astros needed, with all the controversy, they needed Dusty. They needed that calming presence. They needed that person with the respect of the league to be there. My anticipation was Dusty would put a team on the field, and the guys would play hard for Dusty. I think he's one of those guys that if you're in the foxhole, you're giving that man everything you got. So I think he would definitely bring the most out of the players, especially the young guys. And there were a lot of young guys, having to fill in some roles. So my expectations were definitely playoffs, and obviously I would love to see Dusty get that World Series and solidify his legacy as one of the all-time great managers.
I know there was always preconceived notions from anybody who's seen him in his previous stops that the reputation is that he'll really chew up a rotation, and the pitchers will get injured. People will say that happened in San Francisco, Chicago. But do you feel like that's something that's overblown?
In a way, yes, because I think you have to manage to your strengths. And some of the other places, his strengths were starting rotation, and the bullpens may have been a little bit subject. So once he got into certain situations, especially in playoffs or playoff hunts in tough divisions, you had to roll with your strengths. So could he have made a few mistakes? Yeah, maybe, but everybody does that. I mean, the Red Sox, when they left Pedro Martinez in that game, that's a famous call. So, unless we walk a mile in his shoes, I don't think we fully understand. Of course, it's easy to second guess, but I give him slack. I think he's done a great job with the pitching staff this year.
What do you feel has been the strength of the Astros team this year?
Honestly, number one, I think team chemistry. Those guys love playing together. They've come together. in this us against the world mentality. I think they're getting strength out of everybody at every stadium booing them. With that, okay, it's us against the world. Let's go out and show everybody. I think Carlos Correa has been huge in unifying that team. He's definitely been a leader. The offense obviously has been huge. I mean, they've been right with the White Sox all year long on stats 1 and 2 in the league with average. The biggest thing for me is they don't strike out. They put the ball in play. They make the other teams play defense and throw a lot of pitches.
Looking at the playoffs, and I know it's so early to talk about the World Series, but who do you have coming out of the American League, coming out of the National League? Who wins the World Series, and how many games?
So I thought about this, and I have 2 answers for you. One is my current answer with my heart, and that's the Astros versus the Giants, and to me that would go 7 games. So before the season started, I actually picked the White Sox and the Padres. I think that still has potential, but I think the National League is kind of wide open. I think the American League, you gotta say, you don't have to say, but the Astros, White Sox are definitely the favorites and the deepest teams. So, if you put it to me right now, I'm gonna say the Astros and the Giants. I think the Giants is just a magical year for them. Everything seems to be going their way. So, I'll take the Giants.
And 7?
The Giants in 7. I'm gonna say, I gotta say with my heart the Astros in 7, but if it's not the Astros, I'd say it's gonna be the Giants in 7 over whoever they play.
Before we wrap this up, and I really do appreciate you being a part of this, Rich.
Yeah.
What are ways people can reach out to you to talk about Astros? And do you have any shout-outs you want to give, or social media you want to share as well?
As a lot of people know, I do run the Ty Cobb Over 40 Baseball League locally. So there's the Ty Cobb Senior Baseball League on Facebook and Instagram. People can always reach me there, or just reach me on Facebook, Rich Swift. But, yep.
I really appreciate it, Rich. For everybody who's been watching, I really appreciate it. And of course, we're going to start this rash of MLB playoff previews ahead of the start of the playoffs in October, when we'll do a compilation episode, which will most likely include Rich's, barring some epic disaster. Weird things that happen. I know. I don't expect the 95 Angels to occur, but but for everybody who's been watching, I really appreciate you guys. And we'll be back very soon with another live stream. And for my guest, Rich Witt, I really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime.
Oh, yeah, no problem. We'll count this down, and then I'll talk to you off the air with it.
Okay.